back to the Good Homegirl, where we keep it real, uplifting, and always keep that main character energy. It's your girl Tay, and today we're going to talk about something big, something important, and I feel like something that you owe yourself. Stepping into your power and romanticizing your own life. I need y'all to really understand this. You are not a side character in anybody's story. There's no need for you to play small. There's no need for you to be humble or humble yourself. I feel like when people tell us, oh, be humble. Oh, you need to carry yourself with more humility. I feel like that's their way of telling us, like, all of who you are is making me uncomfortable. So I need you to simmer down a little bit so I can feel better about myself. You are the main event. You are the one calling shots. The star of this whole thing called life. So why do so many of us live like we're just extras in the background? If you ever felt like you're just going through the motions, waiting for things to happen to you instead of for you, this episode is for you. It's time to start walking, talking, and living like the main character that you are. So grab you something to drink, get your glass of wine, whatever you need to do, and let's get into it. So first things first, what is main character energy? It's more than just taking cute pictures at a cafe or making aesthetic mood boards. It's an entire mindset shift. It's about owning your story. You are in charge of your life, your choices, and your happiness. Learn to walk with confidence. Even if you don't have it all figured out, you better start moving like you do. Romanticize your own life. Finding joy in the small moments and making everyday things feel special. For me, this has been celebrating small wins. So even if it's something that I think, for other people might not be that big of a deal, for me, I celebrate it all. I don't give a damn if it's, oh, I got another follower today, or my downloads on the podcast channel have gone up 3. It doesn't matter. I celebrate everything. No one but you knows what you've been through. No one but you knows how hard you've had to fight to become you. Especially for those of us that are unlearning certain traumas, unlearning the negative things and the abusive tactics and the gaslighting and whatever else it is that had happened to us. You owe it to yourself. You should be very proud of who you are. Because in this very moment, you are already living in an answered prayer. Give yourself your own flowers. Stop waiting for other people to give you flowers. Make bold decisions. Do what you want to do, not what people expect. I talked about this in some other episodes where I spoke on the fact that I had to release the need of what things were going to look like. Oh, if I do this, what is this going to look like to these people? Or if I fall short here, I don't want to have to worry about people, making fun of me or talking about me or whatever it is. And then I had to realize, everybody got shit. So what does it matter? At the end of the day, whatever it is that you go through, whether you feel like you've, won that assignment, or you feel like, what, I didn't really pass that one, or, I bombed this or whatever, it's a lesson. It's a blessing in every lesson. You don't know what you don't know. I tell my children that all the time. When my kids come and be like, oh, mommy, I'm so sad I failed this test. Okay, well, now you know what you didn't know. So now you know what to do for the next time. Most importantly, learn to prioritize yourself. Because you deserve main character treatment. Not just from others, but from yourself. One of the things that I had to unlearn, and it took me a while, was I was giving love so freely. I was giving it out to everybody, hoping that I would get it back. And I had to learn to give that to myself. If I got all of this time to just be sowing into and pouring into everybody else, why am I not making this same time for me? With the exception of my children, of course, right? They didn't ask to be here. But as far as every single other human being on this planet, why am I not, all of that pouring that I'm doing, why am I not giving it to myself? We have to be honest with ourselves, though, and give ourselves grace, because a lot of us were not raised to think like this. I know for myself, I grew up being a supporting character, meaning that I was always there for everybody else, and I was taught and conditioned to put other people's needs before my own. I felt like I had to shrink myself, playing small to make other people comfortable, which is why I said, like, we have to be careful with that. Like, we don't owe anybody that. That ain't for them. Like, it's fine to want to look out for your friends, but make sure that you're getting that's energy is reciprocated. I know for me, I would always run and jump to support people, but when it was my turn, the applause was quiet. Why do you guys think that a lot of the time when you accomplish something, it's complete strangers that are celebrating you and sewing into you and not the people around you? I also grew up, waiting for life to happen. I just spoke on this. I waited for life to happen instead of realizing, like, I can create my own story. I don't have to wait on anybody. My life is mine. And I've talked about this in other episodes, but when you start letting people stick their little greasy fingers into your life and telling you what they think you should or shouldn't do, you stop living for you and you're living for everybody else. And then you're going to look up and you're unhappy. Let me tell you something. You don't have to earn the right to be the main character in your life. You already are. You don't need permission. You don't need external validation. You just need to decide that your life is worthy of being lived fully. And yes, that means a lot of unlearning. That means shaking off the idea that confidence is cocky or that prioritizing yourself is selfish. Because let's be real, when men move like they're the main character, we call it leadership. When women do it, we call it arrogance. Let that sink in. So let's talk about the how. How do you step into this energy and start living like the main character? First and foremost, romanticize your daily life. Instead of just drinking coffee, make it an entire moment. Get you a cute mug, turn on your favorite playlist, and take just a deep breath of gratitude. One of the things that I do for myself in the morning, because you guys do know that I have children, is I get up earlier than them. So they don't wake up until maybe about 7:30. I get up at about 5:55, 6 o'clock. And that gives me time to just ease into my day. Because my baby girl is my drama queen and she will make everything a thing. And by the time I look up, she is boohoo crying and just cutting up and acting a fool. And now I'm overstimulated and I can't wait to get her out the door. And I don't want to be that kind of mom, right? So what I do is I get up. I may listen to a sermon or I may listen to the news or what have you. But regardless of what I do, I just make sure that is my time. So sometimes, some mornings that literally just Some mornings that literally just looks like sitting on my couch in just pure silence with a cup of coffee. It doesn't always have to be performative per se. It doesn't always have to be a whole production. It's just giving you some time for you. But the whole purpose of it is to be intentional about it. So instead of rushing through, another thing I do, instead of rushing through my skincare routine like I used to do, right? Wash my face real quick, rinse my face off. Now I actually make it like luxury self-care. So that could be getting yourself a cute headband. That could be, one of my favorite tools is I have this like vibrating like scrubber, like the scrubber wand thing, and it's pink. It's my favorite color. And even when I get ready to like do my moisturizers and stuff, like I treat myself like my esthetician would. Even that, I have my AirPods in and I put in some relaxing music. All of that feels good. And it's a whole vibe. You want to create a life that you don't have to escape from. Yes, the spa is nice, but especially as a mother and the way the economy is going right now, we can't all financially afford that all the time. So it's really just about sewing into you, changing your frame of mind. So if you're one of the girlies that's trying to get into working out, don't make it feel like a chore. Make it feel like, oh my God, I'm so excited I get to do this for myself today. Be grateful that you have movement in your body. There's some people that's paralyzed. There's some people that can't do anything. There's people that have lost their mobility that wish that, they could do things for themselves again. I'm in a space right now where, I'm watching my grandmothers both age and they're not, as limber as they used to be, or they're not as mobile as they used to be. And they still making it do what it do. But I know that they're looking at the younger folks around them like, damn, I remember when I used to be able to move like that. So I just have learned to not take those things for granted. It's really just about shifting how you see the small things, because the small things are important as well. And once you do, life starts to feel magical for you. Another thing to do, and this one was, it took me a lot of work. I'm still a work in progress, but learn to move with confidence. You're going to have to fake it till you make it for a minute. I know for me, I was just so beat down by life and the people around me that to think that to even see myself as confident was like, yeah, okay. And then I always thought about what I was going to get or receive or how that was going to be received. So that goes back to releasing what it's going to look like and what are people going to feel like. It doesn't matter. How does it feel to you? So I'm not going to say easier, but an actionable step would be start to walk with your shoulders back, your chest up, chin up. Walk into every room like you belong there, because you do. Even when I catch myself kind of slouching, or one of the things that I notice that I do when I'm uncomfortable is I fidget with my fingernails. I stopped doing that. I love smiling at people. So when I'm walking around, I'm confident, but I'm smiling at people. Hello, how are you? Very nice, very kind. And it honestly makes other people around you feel comfortable, which this is not about them, but I'm just saying. Speak like your words have weight, because they do. Stop talking to yourself negatively. Stop beating yourself up. One of the things that I do is if I did make a mistake somewhere or I fell into a trap that I thought I got out of, I remind myself, you know what, homegirl? It took us so long to get here. We're not going to be perfect. I have to give myself grace. I'm doing some things that I never even thought I would do before. Make eye contact. This one was so hard for me. As a person with a history of child abuse, eye contact was like staring Lucifer in the face. I'm still working with that one, because looking at people makes me wonder, like, what are they thinking? Are they going to hurt me? If I look at them the wrong way, am I going to get hurt? Which is just goes directly back to, my childhood. But don't be afraid to take up space. Remind yourself, hey, we're grown. No one can hurt us anymore. And if they do, they got to get away from us. We don't have to stay in this with anybody anymore. Don't wait until you feel like the main character. Start acting like it now. The confidence will follow. Take my word for it. Lastly, stop seeking validation from other people. This was another one. I was so unsure of myself. This one for me mainly comes from my mother. When I wouldn't move, we talked about this in plenty of other episodes, but when I wouldn't move how my mom expected me to move, she was aggressive. She was abusive in her words. She was verbally abusive. I'm sure if I was around her or in the same space, she'd probably still try to be physically abusive. And she's not the only person in the family that I dealt with that from. Stop asking, is it okay or is this okay before making a decision? Trust yourself. I like to run ideas past my friends just like the rest of us do, but start to trust your own decisions. I had to get back in tune with my intuition, because I have a lot of people around me where I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, so that chair is green. And they would be like, nah, that chair is not green. It's like this dark, olive color. And they're gaslighting you. Oh, it's dark blue. No, it's not. Like, you know what you're seeing. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I know what's happening here. So I had to start trusting my intuition. If for whatever reason, my intuition while I'm driving said, make a right here, I would do that. What does it hurt? That's the place that you got to get yourself to. Stop waiting for people to pick you up or to pick you. Pick yourself. Choose you every single time. Stop worrying about what other people think. They're too busy thinking about themselves anyway, and I had to understand this. All these weird-ass thoughts I have about myself, or all these negative thoughts that I would have, or these insecurities that I would have, I would literally look up, and these people be worried about their goddamn self. Nobody's even worried about me. Or there's been times where I'm an avid concert goer. There would be times where I would be at a concert and, I felt like, oh, I don't know, these pants is a little tight. I hope, I ain't spilling over the sides of my pants. And then somebody walks up and goes, oh my God, you're so pretty. I love your outfit. And you're sitting there like, what the fuck is my problem? So remember, you don't need an audience to be the main character. Some of your best moments happen when nobody is watching. So now you've started to embrace your main character energy. How do you keep it? Surround yourself with people who see you as the main character. If you have friends or people around you that's always dulling your shine, it's time to rethink that circle. It's time to honestly let them go. You can't make room for the people that's meant for you if you still got these trash ass people in your corner. And I had to learn that as well. Be around people who hype you up, push you forward, and celebrate your wins. My best friend is amazing with this. Amazing. It could be something where I'll be like, oh, I tried a new recipe today. Look how it came out. And she'd be like, oh my God, that looks delicious. Or I could tell her, like, I've been fighting for my life in this class, and I got, it wasn't the grade I wanted, but I got a C. And she'd be like, girl, that's passing. You work for yourself, so who's going to tell you that, oh, well, you didn't get a B in this class, we can't hire you. You work for you. You're taking these classes to better your own business. Things like that. Start saying no to the things that don't serve you. This has been major in my life, whether it's people, whether it's the content that I consume. I've recently started to unfollow celebrities or people just in general that I don't vibe with. It got to the point where I would be looking at somebody's page and be like, why did I follow them in the first place? Unfollow. It's not always beef because you unfollowed somebody. Your content probably just doesn't align with me anymore, or your energy doesn't align with me anymore. Main characters don't settle for weak storylines. If something is not aligned, be it a relationship, a job, or a vibe, cut it out your life. Create a main character playlist. Have you ever noticed how every good movie has a soundtrack? Well, your life should too. Make a playlist that hypes you up, gets you in the mood, reminds you of who you are. I love me some Trina down, honey. Maybe I'll listen to Trina. You cannot tell me I'm not the baddest bitch. What are we talking about? You don't think so? Cool, get away from me. Document your journey. This is what the Good Homegirl was for me from the very beginning. It was not only letting you guys know, hey, I've gone through these things too. You're not by yourself. But it was also a testament for me. You guys don't know. There's times where I go back and I listen to my own episodes. And I'll be like, damn, I remember when I was going through that. Or, damn, I remember my very first, episode or video and how I sounded, how nervous I was, and how scared I was of being judged because I'm being vulnerable to strangers on the internet. But there's so many of you guys that hit me up and be like, oh my God, how did you know that I was going through this and this? My favorite app to use right now is Threads. And I swear to God, every time I post a thought on there, it's somebody that's like, oh my God, that was me. Oh my God, I went through the same thing. Oh my God, I just had to go no contact with my mom too. And it was hard. Thank you so much for speaking on this. Whatever it is. Whether you're journaling, vlogging, or just snapping pictures, record your story because you yourself are living history in the making. At the end of the day, this is your story. And if you don't step into it, who will? So today, I want you guys to do one thing. Act like the main character. Whether that's walking into a room with confidence, dressing up just because, saying no to something that doesn't serve you, whatever it is, just do it. And if you needed this reminder, share it with a homegirl who needs it too. That's it for today's episode of The Good Homegirl. I would appreciate it so much if you subscribed, left me a review. You can follow me on social media. All of my handles are under the same name. I would love to keep this conversation going. Until next time, baby, walk like you own the scene because you do, period. Bye, y'all.